Don't shut children down, really listen. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting and good communication. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to better listen to your children. In this video, we're going to talk about what is not good listening and is not going to go well with the children, and then what good listening really looks like and how to prepare for that. So let's start with what is not good listening. So if you do not have eye contact with your child, then you probably will not be focusing very much on what they're saying. If you are doing something at the same time, scrolling on your phone, typing on something, making something, reading a recipe, you're going to be distracted. And I'll tell you what, when you don't listen, that just breaks their heart. They don't like it. And I know because Porter was very upfront with me. I'm a busy lady. I've got lots of things going on. And I remember one time he was telling me something. I was trying to multitask because that's what mothers do and we have all these things happening, right? And he all of a sudden just stopped talking and there was this silence. And he looked at me and he said, "Mom, you're not listening to me. I know you're not because I don't feel any connection to you." He was right. I wasn't listening. I heard him say that because there was this quiet pause, and then he was so deliberate at looking at me and saying that. And so I looked at him and I said, "Porter, you're right. Thank you." I said, "I'm so sorry. I do want to listen to what you have to say. Can I throw this last thing in the pot and then while it cooks, we'll go sit over there and we'll talk." And he's like, "Yeah, Mom, because I really need you to listen." They want us to listen. They want to tell us stuff, but do you know what? If we are too busy, they won't tell. They'll just stop. Now that's one little small example, but I know there are many people who struggle because they feel like their children will not listen to them. But you have to ask yourself as the parent, but am I actually listening to them? Or do I want to be the one talking and they do what I say? You know, it goes both ways. We need to have an openness in our communication, a deliberateness. We need to be able to identify, are we listening or not? And if we're not, what should we do about that? And I'm so grateful that Porter did that, because what I was doing, distractedly cooking and just letting him ramble on, was not really listening. Now, sure, sometimes we do have to do multiple things at the same time, but can we do more active listening? Yes, we definitely can. We're going to talk about how to do good active listening, but also how to help the children get your attention in really productive ways and make sure that they know you listening to them is a high priority. All right, first let's just talk about how to do active listening, and then we'll get into some of the stuff you've maybe never heard before. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page with active listening. So when a person does active listening, that means they actually look at the person. They actually think about what the other person is saying to them. They don't think about what they want to say next, okay? And they ask questions, they clarify, they say, "Oh, so you're telling me that every time you do that, this happens. I didn't know that. How long has that been going on?" You actually take an interest in what the other person is doing. You stop, you take time, you actively listen. That's what Porter was telling me. He wanted me to actively listen to him right at that time. He knew the difference because I usually try to always actively listen. He caught me at a bad moment, right? And so he decided to disagree with me in a way that would be really respectful. Now, the important thing is that Porter actually chose calmness. Many children do not choose calmness when they're trying to get their parents' attention, and this is where things go completely awry. If a child does not understand calmness or how to communicate effectively with their parent, then they might start attacking the parent or try to control the parent or wear the parent down by over-talking, litigating, stuff like that, instead of just getting to a place of open communication and good understanding. I want to talk about a step-by-step process for how to get to a place of really good listening with your child so that they can understand how to get your attention, help you listen, and so that you can be better prepared to listen to them as well. But before we do that, are you enjoying this channel? I hope so. Leave me a comment if you are, and don't forget to subscribe too. I know everybody says it on every single channel, but seriously, when you subscribe, it supports the channel. Let's just be deliberate here. Communicate with me. Do you like what you see? Then subscribe. then you'll see more. That's how it works. Subscribe now. So what do we teach the child about good communication and how to really be understood? Let's talk about this. The first thing is we start with calmness. The child needs to understand the difference between what is calm and what is not calm. What is a calm face? What is not a calm face? What is a calm body? What is not a calm body? What is a calm voice? What is not a calm voice? These things need to be understood. When your child understands the difference between calm and not calm, then they can better communicate with you. And hopefully you are setting the example of calm face, voice, and body for them all of the time. So when they understand calm face, voice, and body, now they are ready to possibly talk to you. But what is it that they are going to say? So there are 4 basic skills that I teach the children for communication success. These are problem-solving skills that are just adult skills. Anyone can use them at any time. Those 4 basic skills are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. Now, in the skills following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, and accepting consequences, they all share a step in common. That step is they can say okay to the parent or disagree appropriately. Disagree appropriately is this great time to be understood. I have children's books for all of those 4 basic skills, and you need all 4 to handle your problems. But I just wanted to hold this one up right now. This one teaches disagreeing appropriately. This is Paige Takes the Stage. So in this book, we have a little girl who gets frustrated. People tell her to do things she doesn't want to do. She doesn't feel like they understand her. And so she starts to have tantrums. Well, finally, her music teacher, which is a real person, because this is actually my daughter, her music teacher in this book teaches her how to disagree with somebody in an appropriate way. He teaches her that she can look at the person or the situation, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say that she understands the other person's point of view, share her point of view, listen to what they have to say okay, and then drop the subject. So there are 7 steps for disagreeing appropriately. He teaches her how to do it, when to do it, and how he will respond. Now, the beautiful thing in this book is that the parents respond so well. They recognize that when someone uses those skills, they need to show them the skills work, which means they need to actually listen. So we don't want to shut our children down. So we've got to teach them the skills that they need for success. Sometimes it's really important that they understand what's going on the inside. They've got to be able to express that to us. That's important, right? Emotions and feelings and thoughts are all part of what makes us human and makes us tick. So we need to teach our children how to express stuff to us in a good way, how to express what's going on the outside and what's going on the inside. Many children don't talk to their parents because they feel like the parents won't care or understand, or they'll think bad of them, or maybe they just don't want to confess something that makes them feel like they have a problem. There could be some pride there, maybe some perfectionism. Many parents don't realize that all of the building up and like puffing up of their children, saying things like, you're a genius, you're the smartest kid ever, all these things makes the child feel like I better never let my parent know that I did something wrong. And so we do need to make sure that praising is done well. There's a right way to praise and not, and that we praise someone in a way that's specific to stuff that they did so that they can learn cause and effect. And then when we correct them, we also show that that's also safe to be corrected, to talk about what happened and to, again, learn cause and effect from that circumstance. So when a parent teaches their child, they need the child to always feel like that it's the safest place to make mistakes, that they love them no matter what. And sometimes we have to deliberately articulate that to our children. So when we're talking to them about a problem, to shut them down looks like, don't use that tone with me, blah, 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 instead of saying, okay, so right now, this is the way you're trying to communicate this with me, and I know that's important to you, and I know you want to tell me something here, but let's get calm first, and then let's talk about it, because I definitely want to take the time and talk about it. We have to be willing to take the time. And we've got to get ourselves to a place of calmness too, so that they can too. If we are emotional, we will shut them down every time. We will. That's what parents do. And so if you don't want to shut down your child and you want to really use those listening skills that you're teaching them and you want them to use, you've got to do your side of it. You've got to make sure that you recognize they have something to share with you and that you always need to be that open door with them. I think many people think when I teach them about the 4 basic skills that I'm shutting my children down, but it's just the opposite. We don't have to spend our time talking about attitude problems and eye rolling very often. Instead, we talk about what's really going on. We have a lot of great connections, and they know I will understand them no matter what. That even if it's something that really could be heartbreaking for me, I'm not going to hold it against them. I'm going to help them through it. That's what a parent does. That's my role in their life. You want to have good communication with your child about how safe you want to be for them and what types of conversations you want to have and how those conversations are super important parts of your family life, which means you've got to be calm and ready. So since you've stayed to the end of this video, I've got a free gift for you. The gift is my Calm Parenting Toolkit. It's a mini course. It's a beginner course for learning self-government. So it's a great place to start. And if you've already been doing self-government for a while, it's going to add to what you've been doing, which is fantastic. So in the description below this video, there is a link to my Teaching Self-Government Calm Parenting Toolkit. Because you can find it on my website, teachingselfgovernment.com, but you can also go to the link below and click it. It says teachselfgov.com/toolkit, and when you click on that link, it will give you the Teaching Self-Government Calm Parenting Toolkit for free. So click on the link now. I'll see you there.